that you are a chef at the most popular restaurant in Sarasota. Most popular restaurant, okay? And it is the busiest night of season. All of the snowbirds just came back, and there's about 200 people out to dinner tonight. And you lost your side chef, the guy that helps you prepare everything, your like right-hand guy. You're all by yourself, and the waiters are going crazy. They have orders. There's like 20 tickets up on your board, and you have to get these orders out right now because people are hungry and they're ready to leave. Ready? Action. No sounds, just body language and facial expression. Those people are hungry. They are really hungry, and the bell keeps on ringing. They just keep on coming in. Oh my gosh, the souffle is burning. The souffle is burning. No sound, no sound, just action, just facial expression. Get that souffle. Oh, and don't forget about the soup. And cut. All right, let's have a seat back in the circle, please. Have a seat back in the circle. So I want to hear from you guys. Although you did a really phenomenal job.
Aiden.
Although you did a really phenomenal job, when I didn't give you any background, right? When I didn't really explain what the circumstance was to you and I didn't set the scene, you guys did a really phenomenal job of using your own imagination and just using your experience and background knowledge of what it means to work in the kitchen, right? But what happened when I gave you a scenario? When I gave you these imaginary circumstances? Aiden will fill you in, okay? What happened, Jewel?
We were like going crazy. We had to like, don't forget the souffle, don't forget the soup. We had to hurry and get that because you said everybody's hungry and ready to leave and we don't want our customers to leave. So we had to hurry and give it to them. And it was burning and we had to remake it again.
Right, so the stakes were higher, weren't they? Did you almost feel like you were really a chef? Could you almost put yourself in a chef's shoes? Did you feel your heart beat a little bit faster even? What else? What else happened once I gave you those imaginary circumstances, Ms. Card?
I just noticed from the first time to the other time, like what I got from their facial expressions was amazing. Like their faces started to make more expressions, and I could really tell what they were feeling inside and what was going on. Even though they weren't saying anything, I could tell that.
Yeah, because they started to build this character, and they had this background knowledge about the character, right? What do you think, Lily?
When my brothers and sisters were screaming, I was like, you eat what you eat.
That's what you were thinking, but no sound came out. But with her facial expression, didn't that come across, right, just now? Can you do it without words? Right? There you go. Mason?
Like when we were doing the first one, I'm like,
Yeah. Jewel?
It's awesome when we were doing the first one. I kept doing it and they kept throwing it back at
That's what was happening. I was noticing some of you were So could you actually almost picture the little kid?
yeah.
That's what kids make the best actors. You guys just go for it. And Stanislavski, remember we were talking about him?
Yeah.
He's the actor, the director that came up with this process of developing a character, right? And of creating a series of questions that helps you understand who your character is, to build that background knowledge. And he said that really great acting is living truthfully under imaginary circumstances. So you build these imaginary circumstances, but then you live within that scene as if it is actually the truth. And as an actor, really good actors actually put themselves in the actor's shoes and they see those characters that aren't even there. And you're gonna have to do that when we create these monologues. Aiden.
What are you doing?
Okay, who can explain to Aiden? Who could just give a little brief background of what we just did, Izzy.
We were acting out like we were acting 3 little scenes that Miss Del Lorenzo gave us, and all of them were in kitchens. One was a chef, one was a big brother or sister, and one was like just you.
Yeah.
Just you. And then like we just had to act out and pretend that it's the truth.
Exactly. Really nice. Okay, we're gonna move on to the next thing, unless it's emergency. But I really saw the difference, right? And that was a really good reflection to notice, right? How things got so much more interesting once you had circumstances. So that's what we need to do for our characters, right? So you are going to you already have who your character is. And I'm not sure about who is going to play our magical character at this point. I think it will just happen naturally. I think one of these kids that we've designed will step up to the plate. Maybe a bit more than one kid.
We should like vote.
So I created a little graphic organizer for you guys. It looks like this. It's got some boxes in it, and there's a typo. I can't help it for some reason. There's like always one typo, and I figured out where it was. But maybe you can find it. There's actually 2 typos. Okay. So the first side of this paper, okay, you have your name, you have the character's name, and then it says, what is the story he or she has to tell? So in a monologue, characters will get up on stage and they have to tell a story, right? They have something that they have to share. That's the reason why they're given so many lines, right? They just don't babble on and on about nothing at all. It's really, they have something that they have to tell. And so I gave you some examples. I said, is it an animal who recently lost their home because a new mall is being built? Is there a forest fire and they need someone's attention to put it out? Right? So you're going to tell me what the story is that they need to tell. What just happened to them that they need to tell. Okay, does that make sense? What just happened in the scene? Are they explaining while they were driving a car so fast to a police officer, right? Are they the speed car racer, or the car that's speeding and accidentally maybe hit a panther or came close to hitting a panther, right? So you're gonna tell me what is the story your character has to tell. Are they a child who just talked to a group of animals and they're telling their friends about the experience? Okay? So figure out what it is, and then you're gonna write a little bit about the story. There's no real structure here. I want you to just free write. I want you to imagine, what is the story my character needs to tell? And just start writing down some ideas. There is no right or wrong. You're crafting your characters. Aiden.
What am I going to do? Because I'm a camper.
You're a camper. So what is the story that your character has to tell? What just happened to them? What do you think?
It just happened to a camper.
Well, you could be a camper after the forest fire already started, right? And you could be telling who about the fire? What would you do if there was a forest fire that you started? Who would you need to tell about it?
I would need to tell the forest ranger.
Forest ranger. So you would describe exactly what happened. This is the story. This is what happened, right? So on the back it says, who is the character talking to? So you're going to decide what the story is that you need to tell first, right? Start to draft that. Then, who is the character talking to? Aiden just came up with both things, right? He's just created a forest fire by accident, and he's telling the park ranger. Obviously, right? He didn't want to start the fire, so he's telling the park ranger. He's trying to explain what happened, right? What do you want? It says, what do they want from the character they're speaking to? What would you want from the park ranger?
I would want them to put the fire out.
Yeah, there's a sense of urgency, right? He needs them to put the fire out, right? And he's also probably trying to explain at the same time that he didn't mean to do it, right? He wants to be forgiven. And then it just says, where are they? Describe their setting. Because like I did for you guys, once I described the setting, once I told you were in a restaurant or you were at your house, that really made the character and the scenario come to life. So this is a brainstorming sheet. This isn't the actual monologue, so it doesn't have to be written in complete sentences. The spelling could be a little off, right? But do your best just to get your ideas down on this. We have lots of questions, and I really want to give you an example with the Magic Girl first. I want to start to craft a little something with her, okay? So, I'm not sure of her name yet. You guys already have names written down, and I don't want to give the character a name yet, but what is the story you think this character would want to tell? Right? She just had a visit from panthers and some of the other animals of the forest, right? So I just made her a girl. I don't know, in my mind she's a girl. Is that okay?
Yeah.
All right.
In my mind, she's a girl.
Okay. Good. I figured I was like on the same line with you guys. She just had a visit from all of the animals in the forest. They gathered around her. Now, wouldn't it be interesting if at the very same time, right, if a group of children go to visit her too, right? Maybe not at the exact same time, right, because it's kind of secret when all the animals share this thing with her, like their plan for trying to make things better. But then the children at the same time come together, right, from all the animals in the forest. Then, moments later, a group of children came to her expressing their concerns. Okay. So here's the thing. What does she do next? What does she do next, right? Think about Desert Woman, right? What did she do? Did she get everybody together to kind of have a gathering, a brainstorm? Lily?
She called a group meeting.
She called a group meeting. So, my monologue as the magical girl, we're going to call her the Magic Girl, until we give her a name. I feel like it will come to us. It will come to me throughout the week as we talk about her. The Magic Girl calls a meeting, right? To explain to the whole group what has to be done. The animals have come to me. The children have come to me. The adults have come to me. We all see this problem. What can we do to solve it, right? So it's going to be this grand gathering. So who is she talking to? She's talking to an audience.